Good morning, guys, and happy Sunday. Welcome back to another meal prep video. I know it has been a hot minute since I have done one of these, but I'm going to try to bring them back. For today's meal, we are going to make two new recipes. I'm going to do one from Skinnytaste and one from the Skinnish dish. We are making bacon cheeseburger chili and summer cavatelli with corn, tomatoes, and zucchini. So both recipes will be linked down below, along with the link to my Weight Watchers app if you want to just import it into your Weight Watchers app. Sorry if you hear my dogs barking. It's actually the next day. I'm getting ready to go to work, but I wanted to do the intro today instead of yesterday because I haven't been getting ready on Sundays, which has kind of been nice. It's kind of saved me a long time. You know, we just kind of get in here and get started and work together and get our meal prep done. So yeah, without further ado, we're going to jump right into it. If you haven't yet subscribed, please click that subscribe button down below, and also follow me over on Instagram. I will leave my Instagram handle for you here, and then also I have a really great Facebook group. It is called Finding Our Way. This is the icon to that Facebook group, and yeah, let's just get straight into the video and get today's meal prep done so we are set up for the week. All right, so for my bacon, I always like to cook it in the microwave. I'm going to cook 5 slices and then do another 5 slices. That way I have 10 for the week. So I just have this laid out, and I'm going to put my bacon on here. And I cook it for about a minute per slice. The more you cook, maybe the less time that it takes, but I will put this in for 5 minutes, and then the more pieces that you have, sometimes you have to cook it a little bit less. So like if I was cooking, say, 8 or 10 pieces, I probably wouldn't put it in for 8 or 10 minutes. But I probably will put this in for 5 minutes, and then I'm going to set another one of these up, and then I will have my 10 pieces ready for the week, 2 each day, Monday through Friday, and it does stay crispy. I kind of set it out over here on the stove and just let it completely cool flat, and I'll kind of show you once it's done and how I store it in the refrigerator, but in the microwave for the bacon. All right, guys, I just wanted to kind of show you my process of making my scrambled eggs. So I did go ahead and make all I guess 5 batches of eggs for the week, which is for each day. I like to have 2 eggs, 150 grams of egg whites, some sauteed bell peppers, of course salt and pepper, and almond milk. So I'll go ahead and mix up 10 eggs, add in all of my egg whites and everything, my almond milk. I've got my salt and pepper in there, lots of pepper, give it some flavor. I'm going to saute these peppers and then put this in here. It does take quite a while. This is probably my least favorite thing to meal prep, which is one reason I never really film prepping it, because it takes forever once I get the eggs in there. But I do have my first batch of bacon done, which it came out perfectly crispy, and it's just been laying here. And so it's nice and flat, and so that's one reason that I like to cook it in the microwave. I think the other one is ready. My microwave's beeping. I need to check it. But I'm just going to put it on a paper towel and put it inside a Ziploc bag, and that's how I store it in the refrigerator. We also had Athena's birthday party yesterday, so we have some leftover Hannah banana bread. So I do not have to make dessert this week, but that is a super simple recipe made with a sugar-free cake mix and some bananas, eggs, a little splash of vanilla. It's super easy. I've made it on my channel several times before. So yeah, after I get my breakfast and stuff done, I'm going to throw together my fruit bowls, and then I do have 2 new meals that I'm going to show you today. Alrighty, I have all of my eggs done for the week, so I just like to divide them out in these containers. Whenever I go to work in the mornings, I just heat these up for 2.5 minutes, and then I have 2 slices of bacon each morning, so that's why I go ahead and make 10 slices. Again, you cannot beat making them in the microwave. A lot of people ask me how I keep them crispy. They just kind of stay crispy, and I just warm the 2 slices of bacon up for 30 seconds before I eat it, and I always just take it to work with me and then eat it whenever I get there. And I just store this just like this, and I put it in this plastic Ziploc bag. I just keep reusing the same one every week because all it does is hold my bacon. So I'm gonna put this away and then put my fruit bowls together. I'll show them to you once I get them together. They might look a little different today than normal because I had like some different fruits for the birthday party yesterday, so I'm kind of using the rest of those up. And so I might have like some mixed match bowls or whatever this week, but again, I'm just going to put them together like I normally do. I always make 7 containers and 7 containers of yogurt. Okay, here is my fruit for the week. I actually just went ahead and made 6 bowls because I do have one left over because I did not eat my normal Saturday bowl of fruit because of the party. So I just made 6 containers of yogurt, 6 containers of fruit. By the time that y'all are seeing this video, we will probably be heading to Florida. So I did not want to have any left over for the following week because I will not need any past Sunday. So I will just eat my leftover bowl on Monday, and then I will have 6 for Tuesday through Sunday, and then I won't need any more until we return. So I'm going to get this put away, and then we will get started on our recipes for our dinners. Okay, so the first recipe that we are going to start out with is this summer Cavatelli with corn, tomatoes, and zucchini. Now, I'm going to use my Fiber Gourmet Light Rotini. You know, pasta is pasta in my opinion. One thing this recipe does not call for is any kind of protein. So I am going to add some chicken. I have some diced chicken here. But basically, we are just going to saute some olive oil and garlic, which I'll just use my olive oil spray that cuts down on points. And then add in the tomatoes. We have some little grape tomatoes that we have cut up into little fourths, and then we'll add in the corn and zucchini and basically cook it until it is tender crisp. It says, oh, I need my marinara sauce. I do have some marinara sauce. It says to use 3/4 of a cup of homemade marinara sauce. I do not have any homemade marinara sauce with us, or left over from the last time that I made some. I wasn't going to make a big batch for this, so we're just going to use some of that Newman's Own marinara today. And I'm also going to just figure out a way to season the chicken. I'm just going to wing it, kind of make it kind of go with the I guess kind of an Italian flavor, maybe. We shall see what I end up putting on it, but I'm just going to saute that kind of separately and then mix it all together at the end. So it'll basically be corn, zucchini, tomatoes, chicken, pasta. Sounds delicious. So let's get to cooking. Okay, so I'm just going to use my olive oil spray instead of actual olive oil to saute up the garlic. It will work out the same. If you want to use olive oil, go ahead and use olive oil. It will be fine. It calls for 2 cloves of garlic. It says sliced, but we're just going to use this minced garlic. And I have my pot over here of water that I have salted. I'm just waiting for it to come to a boil, and then I will put my rotini in, and then I will just cook it for probably like 7 minutes or so. So we're just going to cook this up for about a minute once it gets hot, and then we will add in the tomatoes and some salt. So then I'll be back. Okay, so garlic is sauteing. It's almost ready for the tomatoes. My water's boiling. I am going to go ahead and put in my Fiber Gourmet Rotini. Here it is. I order it on Amazon, or you can order it directly from Fiber Gourmet. There's probably a couple of other websites you can order it from, but it's pretty low in points. So got that in there. Garlic is ready. So we're going to go ahead and put our tomatoes in. Now it says to, I got to put 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt in as well, which I'm just going to use my little salt out of this. I got me some new little measuring spoons. They're kind of round on one end and oblong on the other, so you can use either side. So there is our 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt, and we are going to let these tomatoes soften up, and then we'll add in the other stuff. One thing I just realized that I forgot to do is get a skillet out to cook my chicken in, because it's not in the recipe. It does say in the recipe that you can add, you know, protein if you want it. I have to have protein in my meals, or it does not fill me up. So we are going to just season up the chicken, salt and pepper. Probably some Italian seasoning, stuff like that, and just kind of saute it up really good so that it'll be ready to add in as well. We're going to go ahead and add in the corn. It says you can use fresh or frozen. I just use frozen corn. And the zucchini. And this is going to cook for a few minutes until it is tender crisp. Okay, so for the chicken, I just salt and peppered it, and then I put some Italian seasoning on there, some garlic powder, a little bit of cumin and chili powder. If you know me, I love those two seasonings. And then I put a little bit of the Nashville hot chicken seasoning on there. So again, that's not in the recipe. I'm just kind of winging it. We'll see how it turns out. I'm just gonna kind of cook it up until it's crispy. Okay, we are back. I have got the pasta drained. It does say to reserve like a cup of the pasta water, which I did. Luckily, I read that before I drained all the water off of it. So I think the corn, the zucchini, and the tomatoes are kind of ready. They're kind of to that tender crisp point. The chicken is almost done as well. So we're going to go ahead and add in the marinara sauce at this point, and this is the marinara sauce that I'm using, the Newman's Own Saccaroni, which it's pretty good. Somebody posted in my Facebook group that it was only a point per serving. I have not checked that myself yet this morning. It calls for 3/4 of a cup. I'm going to use a cup just because I feel like 3/4 of a cup is not enough. Again, you can always modify any recipe, change whatever you want to on it. That's one thing that I've kind of learned in my whole process of doing Weight Watchers. And I don't know the points off the top of my head for this dish. It says on the recipe that it's 7 points for points plus, but that's not what I'm on. I mean, all of these are like 0-point foods, not the marinara, but and the pasta is like 2 points per serving. So since I'm not using regular pasta, that will save us on some points. And my chicken is kind of nice and cooked up at this point. We're going to do a little more seasoning here with some salt and pepper. And I'm just going to do like a good couple of pinches of salt. And some pepper. I actually have my little spoon here I can use too. And I'm a little worried that it's not going to have enough flavor. I may add in a little garlic seasoning and Italian seasoning and stuff just to make sure. So here's some oregano. Going to go in with some of that. And some Italian seasoning. Again, the recipe does not call for this, but y'all know me. I like it seasoned up pretty good. Well, and it's got garlic in it. We won't add any more garlic. We'll just kind of leave it at that. We're going to mix this up for a minute, and then we're going to add in the pasta and the chicken. Which the chicken is definitely done. This skillet, this green pan, cooks so fast, by the way. So we're going to go ahead and put the pasta in. And we're going to stir this up real good, and then we'll add in the chicken and some Parmesan cheese. It does say to add the remaining olive oil, which of course I omitted the olive oil. And then we have some fresh basil to top it with. I'm just going to kind of dice that up, and then on the nights that we eat it, we can just sprinkle some on there. I'm not going to put it on just yet. And see, I almost feel like this might need a little bit more marinara sauce. We'll see. Here's my diced chicken, all cooked up well. And that's one reason I think I might need a little bit more marinara. And I don't want to waste it either. So we're going to go ahead and add in another cup of the marinara, which actually is almost the whole jar. So I'm just going to count this whole jar of marinara sauce in with my recipe. So the points that I used, and I am going to build this in my Weight Watchers app. I had switched over to the Healthy app, but I think I've decided that I just prefer to do the Weight Watchers app. The Healthy app works fine, but all of my recipes and everything is already saved, and I've been doing the Weight Watchers for so long. And I just feel more comfortable doing Weight Watchers than counting macros and calories, I have figured out over the past few weeks. So we are just going to stick to what we know because it's been working since 2020. And yeah, that's what we are going to do. I'm going to get my cheese measured out, and then I will be back and we will finish this up. This is just going to be like a one bowl meal. I don't think I'm going to make any garlic rolls to go along with it. I mean, we had lasagna last week and garlic rolls. So we might just have this and that'll be it. And then we can have some banana bread for our dessert this week. But let me get my cheese and we'll just let this simmer for a little bit, and then I'm going to give it a little taste test. Okay, so in here I have 6 tablespoons of just grated Parmesan cheese. It calls for Pecorino Romano, and then plus more whenever you serve it, but I'm just going to use regular Parmesan cheese because it's what I had, and I hate to buy stuff like that and then just have it set and not use it. I did add in a little bit of the pasta water. I kind of put it in the marinara sauce container just to kind of get the rest of the marinara out of the bottom of it. And so I think this is going to be good. We're going to give it a minute here and let this cheese get combined, and I'm going to give it a taste test, see if it needs any more salt and pepper or anything like that. But overall, I think this is going to be a delicious dish, and I'm just going to put it into 6 containers, and it will be ready for us for 3 nights of meals. I always just like to cook 2 meals if you are new here, and we just alternate those every other night during the week, Sunday night through Friday night. So there we go. This is the summer cavatelli with corn, tomatoes, and zucchini, although I did use rotini pasta instead of the cavatelli pasta, but I like to use the Fiber Gourmet because it is lower in points. I'm going to use my little wooden spoon here. We're going to do a little taste test and see how the seasonings are. Okay, actually that is really good. I can definitely taste that spice from that Nashville hot chicken seasoning. Tastes a little Italian-y, a little spicy. Chef's kiss on this one. I'm going to get it plated up. Alrighty, here are my 6 bowls divided out. Again, I don't know off the top of my head what the points are, but I will calculate it and try to put it on the screen for you right here. And I will have the link to the Skinnytaste recipe down in the description box below, along with a link to my Weight Watchers recipe. So, again, this is actually really good. I've done another little taste test, and then we have a little visitor over here that is very interested in it, and one down here that's also very interested in it, but they're not going to get any because this is our dinners for the week. But y'all, this is a nice hearty portion, so we will not be hungry on the nights that we eat these. And actually, that's one thing that I've always tried to live by in doing Weight Watchers, is using all of my 0 point foods that I can, fruits and vegetables and stuff like that, to really bulk up my meals. You know, try to find the low point pastas, make substitutions instead of olive oil, using olive oil spray, etc., etc., to try to make any recipe work for me. So now we're going to move on to bacon cheeseburger chili, which is also another Skinnytaste recipe. Alrighty, we are ready to make the bacon cheeseburger chili. Again, this is a recipe by, I think I said Skinnytaste earlier. The other one was Skinnytaste. This is the Skinnish dish. So I will link both of them below. But this has several ingredients here. It calls for 6 slices of center cut bacon. I just have 6 slices of regular bacon that Charlie has diced up there for me. 1 pound of extra lean ground beef. So we've got the 96.4, the Laura's ground beef there. 1 large bell pepper, green pepper chopped. It also calls for a large yellow onion, which I am leaving out. It calls for 45 garlic cloves. I need to get my garlic out. I hadn't got that out yet. It also calls for some ground cumin, some paprika, 3 tablespoons of chili powder, some reduced sugar ketchup, which I have here, some Worcestershire sauce, which I know I butchered that word. Let's see here, 3 tablespoons of dill pickle relish, not the sweet relish. So we just found this Vlasic dill relish at Publix last night. 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard. We need a can of fire roasted tomatoes and 1.5 cups of low sodium beef broth, which I have 2 cans here. I'm probably just going to go ahead and use them both. And then 2 cans of drained but not rinsed pinto beans, and then salt and pepper to taste. And then she said she uses Frank's hot sauce to taste, about 1 tablespoon. I'm just going to use sriracha. I don't have any Frank's. So I've got everything out here except for the garlic, and I think this should be easy. I think it should be pretty good with the bacon. We are going to saute the bacon in the large pot. It says to cook it in a Dutch oven or a large pot. I have this large pot. I do not have a Dutch oven. That's kind of something that somebody could get me for Christmas if they're listening to me talk. But anyway, again, this pot is very handy, and it was only $25 at Marshall's or something. I would link it, but I cannot, unfortunately, but I do love it. If you see something like that, it's always a great find at Marshall's, TJ Maxx, Home Goods, all of those places. So anyway, I'm going to stop talking now, and we're going to get this bacon going and get this put together so that it can simmer, and this will finish up our meal prep for the day. Okay, so we have got the bacon in. We are going to cook this until it is pretty cooked through. Then we will add in the ground beef. Okay, so we have browned the bacon. I almost burn it. And then we've got the ground beef in there. Trying to get it mostly done, which is almost there. And we're going to add in the green peppers, onions if you're using the onions, which I'm not. So green peppers and garlic, and then we're going to add some salt in. We're just going to cook it until the veggies are softened, and then we will add in our spices. Okay, so I think that our peppers have softened up. I put in the peppers and the garlic and the salt, and I did add a little bit of black pepper just because, you know, I like salt and pepper and everything. Now we're going to add in our paprika, our cumin, and our chili powder and get that mixed in well. Then we will be ready to add in the ketchup, mustard, and dill relish and the Worcestershire sauce. And then we'll add in the tomatoes, beef broth, and the pinto beans. So I will be back in just a moment. Okay, I have the ketchup, mustard, Worcestershire sauce, and dill pickle relish mixed in there. Now we are going to go ahead and go in with the fire roasted tomatoes. This was literally the only can that Publix had yesterday. We've not even been able to find like the fire roasted Rotel. Not sure what's up with that, but anyway, and it calls for I guess 1.5 cups of beef broth. We're just going to go ahead and put in both cans. A little extra sauce isn't going to hurt us. And then 2 cans of drained but not rinsed pinto beans. And they go. And so basically we're going to let this cook for about 20 to 25 minutes until it thickens up, and it will be done. So I will be back and show you once we have it all finished. Alrighty guys, here is the chili, the bacon cheeseburger chili from the Skinnysh dish. Again, I will have it linked in the description box below, along with the link to the recipe in my WW app. But it smells like a cheeseburger because of the ketchup and mustard in it. So we will see how it is this week. I'm not going to make like my rolls or anything to go with it. I think we're just going to eat some crackers if we want anything to go with the chili. So hopefully it's good. The other dish was delicious. I did not really do a taste test on this one. So we are just going to go with it. It's a bacon cheeseburger chili. Really doesn't sound like you can go wrong with it. So yeah, that's going to wrap up today's meal prep. I hope that you enjoyed. See you in the next video.